everyone. I hope you're doing great. Here I am in New York. It's a little chilly day here. So one thing I love to do in chilly days like that is, of course, to spend time reading. What could be better than a beautiful hot chocolate and a beautiful book together? I want to share today 5 biographies that I read in the last year, pretty much. And I like to combine different kind of readings, but biographies really inspire me. Why inspire me so much is because I feel that when I'm reading, I get in a new friend. I feel that it could be my mentor. And even if I don't like in particular the profile of the person that I'm reading about, which it might happen because sometimes I'm interested in just read about someone, even though I might not be a fan of it, but I just don't like only to read people who I really love or I like or I admire. Sometimes I like to see what is the methodology for people to really achieve something. And that's why I like about biographies. I get to get into the insights and get to know a little bit about what that person thinks, how that person thinks, and why. Normally, what is interesting is what is the upbringing of these people? Where did they start? And to just look at the whole trajectory, at the whole way. So then you could be inspired by that. So this is basically what I'm reading right now. This is the biography of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. If you don't know who she is, I just discovered her last year in March because I saw her biography and I was so inspired by her that I ended up just buying the biography of her. And it's called in America RBDG, just casually. But just if you don't know, it was the second woman to be part of the Supreme Court of the United States, one of the first women to be accepted in Harvard Law School. So at the same time, when she finished in Harvard and Columbia with excellent results, she was the mother of a 14-month-old baby. So it's very inspiring because in a time that women were not even invited and welcome to be in the men's circles and becoming a judge, also to combine that with her family life. The fact that she has a beautiful marriage, her children really came up great. It was so inspiring that I wanted to see what she did right. What is the methodology? And also to have this kind of commitment to make a difference. She really fought for the rights of women and all minorities in the United States. She was always someone who advocates for equality. So that's another thing that I really love about her. Also that her personality was a very introvert person, but still, even though that she didn't have this bubbling personality, she made it all the way to the top. So not always you need to be an extrovert and be excellent in social skills to really achieve your dreams. And that's a perfect example of someone who is very quiet, who really work hard, but just without making any noise, just get to the point that where she wants to go. And it's extremely inspiring. So that's why I really love this biography. I haven't finished it yet. I'm on it right now. But I will let you know more. But because I had a little bit of an idea about who she is, and I wanted to just explore more about her life. Another biography that really, I love, it's Nelson Mandela. I read it in Spanish because I also like to combine some books in English, some books in Spanish. So I get to read in the 2 languages that I love the most. I also love to read in French, but I'm not that good. So it depends on the type of book. I just choose a language or another. But this book, it's amazing because it's the story of resilience. It's the story of someone overcoming all kind of adversity. So this, particularly in a time like that, it could be very inspiring to read about someone who during 27 years spent it in prison and had this amazing, positive, optimistic vision and end up achieving their dreams and inspiring the whole world, basically. I don't think that we could argue that he did not inspire people. because I think that his personality, charming personality, the way that he was, and the love and compassion that he showed for others, it's really magnificent. So I love it. And this is my third one. Surprising. I end up reading the biography of Winston Churchill. Yes. This biography really, it was because I know that he was an amazing strategist. But the reason why I wanted to read that biography is because he was thinking that he was a man of destiny. So I always ask myself the question, if somebody already have a destiny or build a destiny. So I don't know, what do you think? I let you just make your own conclusions. But I really love the fact that ever since he was a little kid, he was shaping himself to be that kind of person. He wasn't the best in school. His parents never really cheerleading him, all the opposite. They basically wrote him very crushing letters telling him that he wasn't good enough. But that complex that some of us, we experience at some point, that we're not good enough, he was able to overcome it and become the person that he was. So even if you like his personality, if you agree or not with his views, it doesn't matter. For me, it's a story of resilience. It's a story of overcoming all kind of adversity, believing in yourself, and just keep going. Also, another thing that I learned is that so many times people fail, and failure is not always the end. Most of the times is the beginning. For all of them, when they fell, and they fell hard, it was the beginning of something. So it's just a token of inspiration to all of us. And one of my favorite people in the world is Michelle Obama. When it came out, of course, I went and bought this book. And I read it basically in 2 days because it was so interesting. And I love her, honestly. I really admire Michelle Obama. But what I really love about this biography is how personal she got. It's she writing about her life, just explaining her beginnings and how she ended up becoming Michelle Obama. But not from the perspective only or from a first lady perspective. Most importantly, the perspective of a woman, of a mother, of a wife. So that's what I love about this biography, that you really see the Michelle Obama before becoming the first lady, Michelle Obama during the time that she was the first lady, and Michelle Obama after becoming the first lady, and how she still wonders who is going to become. She is becoming, and she knows that she's still building herself up. So I think that he was writing from a place of honesty and very humble place. And that's another thing that I really love and I admire. And now the fifth one is Steve Jobs' biography. I had this book for a quite long time in my library, but I didn't really got into it. And I don't know, sometimes I just wander around, look around, and I said, what is the mood right now? And then I said, wow, if I want to learn, sorry about that, more about creativity, I should read about people who were really creative, people who really think out of the box. And that's exactly what he inspired me so much. It's his personality, it wasn't the best, which I also could understand, because if you really read about where he started, how was his childhood, basically you could understand how people end up being later a little bit of, patterns of behaviors that sometimes it block us more than let us moving forward. But the point is that creativity, innovation, that hunger to just don't be the norm, it's incredible, it's wonderful. And you could see in this book how really sometimes you just need to trust. You need to trust. And another thing, that the same thing, a story of inspiration. So for all of you who might feel at some point that you're failing, guess what? The people who really get to the next level is the people who really see failure like one other step, another one. So they don't see this like the end. They don't really victimize themselves. Of course, they feel it, and of course, it's painful, but still they go. So all of us, we experience these moments of despair and failure. And maybe right now you are in these moments because you don't see Father. I am in a place right now that I could not see what's going to happen after this situation finish. But what I know is that I have to keep going. And what I know is that probably, most likely, it's going to be the beginning of something wonderful. If I do believe it's going to be. So that's the attitude. Continue to moving forward and continue to believe that everything is going to be perfect. Everything is going to be fine. So just today, that's all for today. I just wanted to share with you the 5 biographies that really inspired me in the last months. And yes, if you have time right now, I'm sure you do. There is no excuse that I don't have time right now. I just welcome you, invite you to just explore any biography. Sometimes it might surprise you that someone who you might not even connect, but it has a lesson for you. So remain open for exploration. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening.